For either of you guys, how much did the last couple months of the season, your strong finish, how much does that change your outlook and what you need to do this summer? Did that change what you feel you need to get accomplished before next season?
Well, I think we talked about it all year long, that we just want to see our team healthy. Going through the injuries that we had, we just wanted to see our team healthy. We were getting fairly close at the end, and we were playing good hockey. We were playing as we expected to play if we were healthy in the beginning of the year. As disappointed I am sitting here now and having this pressure 2 months earlier than I'd like to, I'm proud of the guys, the way they handled themselves as professionals at the end of the year. I'm proud of the way they could have just mailed it in, and we knew we weren't going to make the playoffs for a while at the end, but they didn't. They played hard every game, and they played every game to win, and I'm proud of that group because of that. But I don't believe for a second that it's easy to play when you don't have any pressure. There's no easy games in the NHL. It's the best league in the world. And we beat some teams that were in very meaningful games in the race for the playoffs, fighting for their lives, trying to get a best possible position in for the playoffs. We beat them fair and square. So we know what this group can do, and that's what we saw at the end of the year. And whether it changes or maintains our belief in this group, that's something that we're still kind of processing through the meetings that we're having and conclusions, studying statistics and so forth. But we believe we have a good team. We really believe that. We believe that before this season, and I've talked about it a lot. I believe in the growth from inside. We saw young players emerge. There's going to be some more. There's going to be really, really good competition for the jobs next year. And a lot of times you go into the season, you say that, but it's real with our group right now and the depth we have, especially in the forward position. The competition's very real, and there are guys, like JD said, there's guys that aren't even here that are gonna really compete for spots next year come training camp time, and that's a sign of a good team.
We went through the season not really knowing. We had an idea what our team was going to be, but with all the issues we had, we never saw our team. So we would sit there and talk about it and go through. We sit in the office, 3 or 4 of us, and talk for hours, and throw things around. Some of it sticks, some of it slides down the wall, but we didn't really know. And then at least we got reasonably healthy late, and we played pretty well as a team. Now the interesting parts are that we had a chance to develop 2 young forwards who really are going to push for a job here next year, which is a really good thing. I think going into next season, this team will have more internal competition than it's ever had in its history. You take a player like Rene Bourque, who came over in the Wiz trade and the Wisniewski deal, and he played really well. He wants to play here next year. So that we're going to have some great competition, which should make us an even better team than what we've seen recently. Then you throw in a Ryan Murray, who we feel will be completely healthy going into next season's training camp, and with any luck, he'll have a very healthy season. Boy, he transforms our team when he plays. So when we sit here and think about our club, very disappointing not being in the playoffs. Very disappointing, because you need that playoff experience too. That's what's going to be missing here. Second of all, though, I think we'll be better next year than what we were planning to be this year. And then we're going to have other people that are going, do you think Josh Anderson and Kirby Reichel and Milano and all these kids don't want to play here? They certainly do. And they're going to come in and try to push some people for a position. It's great to have this competition ahead of us. I'm thoroughly excited about it. Clay.
Gentlemen, the captain question came up again mostly because we asked about it yesterday, and some of the guys said, I think it is something that would be useful. Where do you guys stand on that? Is that one of those things you kick around in the room when you're talking for hours?
You have no idea how many times we've talked about it, whether it's the right time, do we have the right person, and we've internally kept saying it, we've said it to the team, I'm sure we've told it to you guys enough times that somebody's going to rise from the group, and it's going to be the obvious choice. We've seen some great development this year mainly because of the adversity that we went through, and that always reveals character. And we're going to have a captain next year.
That is obvious to you now.
Yeah, it's fairly obvious, and at the right time, we're going to name it, and next year we're going to have a captain.
Nobody likes to use injuries as an excuse, and I'm just wondering how uncomfortable is that? You've had this great finish, but in a sense, and there's no question injuries were a part of this, but you don't like to use injuries for an excuse, and you're not in the playoffs. And is this season? I mean, when you look at the big picture, is this a step back because you made the playoffs last year, and the expectation this year was, oh, we're going to do this and this and this, and
I think my own opinion is when you look at it from the outside, and the Blue Jackets were in the playoffs last year, they're not this year. Is that a step back? For some people, it's an obvious thought. But when you really analyze it deeply like we do, there was at one time we had our goalie out, we had 4 of our top 6 defensemen out, and we had 3 of our top 4 centermen out. I don't know who wins with that. And these weren't short-term injuries. And the other problem is when you have injuries, and they're long-term injuries, when the player comes back after missing 6 or 8 weeks, you're not the regular player that you could be if you had been healthy. It takes 2, 3, 4 weeks to get up to speed. I talk to players about that. The biggest thing that we can do is really study, which we have already 100 times, why we had the injuries. Is there common ground there? Can we do things differently? We've talked to the players about it, the trainers about it, the doctors about it, and we're trying to get even better in that respect. The facts are the facts. We're 505, was it, Todd? Man games lost. It was in that neighborhood. It's disastrous in a lot of ways. There's people that lost. Ryan Murray lost valuable hockey time. So did Boone Jenner and others. It becomes very expensive when you look at the business of things. When players are out, you call players up that have to be paid NHL salaries. There was a lot of things that were very, very just disappointing. But then you analyze where we sit today and how we're going to get better to try to win a championship, and there was some damn good things. And I'm going to stay with that. I'm going to be as positive as possible with our organization. The injuries we couldn't control. It created a lot of serious disappointment. And at times you question yourself. You sit in the chair in the office and you talk to the guys in hockey operations, and you see the strides we have made, but it became disappointing in a lot of ways. Disappointing for the fans. They invested into us. Our season ticket base went up. They were disappointed, naturally. But when the dust settles and you clear your head and you think about it, we got a good thing going on here. We've got a real good thing going on. 2.5 years ago, we were 30th. We were 16 games over from December 1st on. We can be better than that as we go forward, and I think we'll do damage in this league, but we have to continue to evolve. We have to stay away from the injuries if possible. We have to we need evolution as a franchise. This league will get tougher next year. It always does. But I feel very, very positive about the future of this franchise. Very positive. We've got a lot of depth. We've got a lot of talent. We had people that hit numbers they'd never hit before. So we have good things going on.
Also, when we look at the big picture, I think at this time last year we were going into the playoffs. I think we have a better team right now. I truly believe we have a better team right now. I wish we were getting ready for a game on Wednesday or Thursday, but unfortunately that's not possible.
JD, you touched on the home record not being where you wanted it to be, but sort of the inverse of that is that your road record was actually very good, even with everything that happened this year. So is there something that you can take away from the way the team played on the road and maybe bring that back to home, or is it really just kind of the way the schedule broke out this year?
It's a really good question. The home record, in my mind, thankfully got better because it wasn't good. And it's not good for anything when you don't win at home in any aspect of the business of hockey, whether it's for the fans that get disappointed or the win-loss record or whatever it was. But then I see us go on the road, and I know now that we can win on the road. We have character in our room. So the season winds down. We did okay at home late. It's something, and I look at the previous season, we were pretty good at home. So at least I know that our club, and Jarmo made a very good point. We're a better team than we were a year ago, and we'll be a better team in the fall when we come back to camp, because I just know that there's people that are going to make our team that make us better than we were a year ago. So I have to look north. I have to look forward to all this stuff. I think we'll be fine at home next year. I think we'll be good at home. I think we'll be good on the road. I think we're going to have a good hockey club. Nothing's going to be easy, but I really believe in this group. We've come a long way in 2.5 years.
I think the home record's kind of mind-boggling to me. I mean, we have great fans here. They were behind us even when we went through the tough times, cheering on, and you know, we had bad home record at a time, and they were still behind us and cheering, and they could have easily turned on us and booed us out of the building, and they didn't, and we really appreciate that. So, you know, part of our theme going through the end of the season was here that we owe it to the fans to play better at home, and we took pride in it, and we had a 6-game winning streak at home, I believe, at the end, and it was a good way to finish the season.